Hey, my name is Lucy Budis, and I'm currently a senior at St. Vincent College studying English and getting my minor in secondary education. So I will be certified to teach English for grades 7 through 12. And today I want to show you some of the samples of student work that my students in my current student teaching placement, where I have awesome 7th graders, some samples of their work, and the bulletin board that I designed and created for the students to learn more information and to interact with. So first, I have these Greek mythology trading cards that the students completed towards the beginning of the Greek mythology unit that they worked on for several months. And here the students were assigned or given the option to choose several of the Greek gods and goddesses, and they created a trading card for each of those characters. So they put the name and some type of visual depiction of that Greek god or goddess on the front of the card, and on the back of the card, they put some information about that Greek god or goddess, such as that character's skills or strengths or weaknesses, and then that character's relationships with some of the other Greek gods and goddesses in Mount Olympus, where all the Greek gods and goddesses live. And this was just a really great way to introduce this topic and unit to the students. Another project that the students did with Greek mythology were the Arachne posters. Arachne was a character in Greek mythology, and the students read the story about her and actually analyzed a painting done around the Renaissance period by a painter of the story of Arachne, his interpretation, and then the students were challenged to create a painting or poster themselves depicting the story or a certain scene from the story. As you can see, the students all had different interpretations and were challenged to think about things like mood, theme, and parts of the story to include while they were drawing. So they kind of had it set up like an easel, and they stood up and drew their picture and then walked around the room and analyzed each other's drawings. The final project that the students did for Greek mythology varied. There were some students who actually wrote and performed their own Greek drama. Those are the students that actually have the masks up to their face that they used during their play, that they also designed, plastered themselves, and painted, which was really neat. And then on the bottom picture, you will notice two girls and myself holding up a book, which was actually a scrapbook of some of the Greek gods and goddesses. That was their project. And then the last picture is one of the young boys and myself holding up 2 cardboard boxes that represented the perfect worlds for 2 of the Greek gods and goddesses that he chose. Just some examples of students who chose various options for the Greek mythology final project to wrap up everything that they learned throughout the unit. Another example of student work, though this was not inside the classroom, obviously, this was for a door decorating contest that the students completed about halfway through the semester. The theme was countries around the world, so the students chose Peru. Obviously, they made a flag, they built Machu Picchu in the middle of their door, and then put some facts about Peru around it. And as you can see in the middle, the students were very proud, even though they're being kind of goofy. They were very proud of their work and excited about decorating the door. After the Greek mythology unit, the students moved into a unit on Beowulf. They read an abridged version of the epic poem, and I designed and created this bulletin board display to help them learn more about the characters. As you can see, there are drawings that I did of several of the central or main characters, along with how to spell their name, obviously, above them, and then some key details about those characters to remember. Along with that, I also included a place for the students to put their own work up on the bulletin board. So within the book, there is a villain called Grendel, and he's very vividly described in the book using a lot of imagery and a lot of descriptive details. And the students were challenged to go back into the book and find some of that imagery and describe Grendel themselves, and then depict that using different colors and using drawings, basically, to show what Grendel looked like to them. So then each day on the bulletin board, I switched the picture of Grendel. So each day, a different student had an opportunity to have their work displayed on the board, which was really neat. And you'll see in the bottom left how there's one depiction of Grendel, and in the top right, there's a different one. So it was really neat to see the way that students interpreted the text in that way, in different ways. So another example of some student work that the students completed this semester was that after Beowulf, we shifted into learning about the hero's journey, which is 12 stages and the students basically read some articles about the hero's journey and created a wheel that defined the 12 stages, and then they took those 12 stages that they learned that were very general and they applied them to a character that they chose from a movie or a book, and they worked in partners or in small groups. Then they were challenged to design some type of visual, some type of poster that demonstrated how that character went through each of those 12 stages. So if you'll see on the left, one group of students did Beauty and the Beast, and they analyzed Belle, the main character, and they made her hero's journey cycle looked like a rose. Another group did Violet, one of the superheroes from the Incredibles movie. And then if you look on the bottom, those are all the students' examples hung up on the board. And in the top right, we're just talking about those examples and talking a little bit more about the hero's journey. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching my video and for looking at some of the student work that the students have created this semester, for looking at my bulletin board. It's just been so much fun to see the students create so many amazing things. They're so creative and imaginative, and it was really great working with them this semester. Thank you so much.